As if being a mom is the easiest job ever.
Exactly. I always tell people that being a mom is the most rewarding job, but it's the hardest job you will ever
Right.
have.
Hello, everyone. Elle Ballard is here today on the Empowered Global Women in Business podcast with my guest, Michelle Clarkson. Hi, Michelle. Welcome.
Hi, Elle. So glad to be here.
So great to see you. Michelle Clarkson is a CEO of Meaningful Moments of Power and corporate leader with 25 plus years of experience, turned her journey of resilience after abuse and divorce into a mission to empower women to embrace their self love, unlock confidence, and lead with purpose. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you. Thank you. So glad to be here.
Good to see you, my friend. And I love the name, Meaningful Moments of Power. Meaningful Moments of Power. How beautiful. And if you can take us to your story and how this was born, this meaningful moments of power.
Yes, absolutely. Well, as you shared in that introduction, I am a domestic abuse survivor. I am a single mom, a divorced single mother. So, being able to overcome the challenges of domestic abuse,
Mhm.
getting through that, rebuilding myself, then thinking, okay, hey, life is great. And then life happened yet again, and having to go through divorce. But being in a situation when I got divorced, I was in a city, didn't have any support system. So, yes, yet again, having to rebuild myself, my confidence. But along with those things that happened, still being able to navigate my way as a single mother and working in corporate America, juggling the life and work life balance, managing the kids, and just rebuilding my confidence to believe in myself and the power that I had to make an impact not only in my career, but also in my personal life. And when I was going through those tough periods in my life with the domestic abuse, struggling as a single parent, there were a lot of women that poured into me when I was in those
Mm.
dark places along that journey that had been there as well. And I always told myself that you need to use your voice. There are other people out here that you can help and inspire, but
Yes.
there are times where we are shy and are afraid of stepping out of that comfort zone and making a real impact. And it was my father's passing, and one of the things that he had always encouraged me to do was to use my voice. And when he passed, I said, no more excuses, Michelle. It is time
Mm.
for you to step into your purpose, move with intention, and make a difference in women's lives. And so that's where meaningful moments of power came from, because just like you said, we have so much power that's already inside of us, but sometimes we need a little help,
Yeah.
someone to tap into that, and so from there, birth meaningful moments of power. And so I do a lot of motivational speaking and as well as one-to-one coaching with women. And not necessarily, you don't have to be someone that's overcoming divorce. You may be someone that's just dealt with a setback in life, or someone who is dealing with challenges on your job where you're wanting to learn how to be seen and more visible, and you need leadership skills or how to learn how to communicate effectively and give pushback in meetings so that you're still seen and visible and things like that. So, coupled with my personal challenges that I dealt with, and then also dealing with working hard to get myself seen in the corporate space, it's like this is what you need to be doing, giving back to women and helping them any way you can. So that's how meaningful moments of power came to be.
So beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And what a perfect name. Meaningful moments of power, because it's not only this specific situation. So there are so many moments I love. And thank you for following that intention and the voice to open this company to support women, because you are
Yes.
so right. It's sometimes this voice, well, why Why would I? Why? But we do. Women need this space that you provide. So thank you for taking that, and opening the company, and with your experience of 25 plus years, of course, amazing, powerful story. Thank you. What are some of the situations or in these moments that you find that with your clients that they needing that extra support?
Well, one area that I've just found with a lot of my clients that I've worked with, um, and even like I said, not people that necessarily have dealt with a divorce or abuse, it's that we as women, a lot of us lack the confidence we need just to be able to step into our purpose and live with intention. We
Yeah.
all have so many gifts that we have, but sometimes we dim our light and we just shrink ourselves and fit into those spaces that we feel like we can't be our authentic selves. Um, I have so many women that say, well, I'm just a mom or I'm just this. Well, you're
Mm.
more than that. We all have gifts, and it's just sometimes you need someone to help you, tap into that power and realize how beautiful that self love. It all starts with self love. And whether you're wanting to transform your mindset to have a change in your personal life or your professional life, it starts with you. And so you can't make a change if you don't have that confidence, that self love, that belief in yourself, or even know what your skills and abilities are. So that is one of the common themes that I see is just that lack of confidence in knowing who you are, what your
Hmm.
skill sets are, and what is your purpose. Once you
Yeah.
find out your purpose, then you can start living with intention.
Yeah. Yeah. And that word, just, just as if
Yeah,
as if
I say
being
that
an
like it's nothing. Yes,
as if being a mom is the easiest job ever.
exactly. I always tell people that being a mom is the most rewarding job, but it's the hardest job you will ever
Right.
have in your life.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree. I
yeah,
agree. And it's such a learning experience on both ends of it. Being a mom with a child, and child learning, of course, growing, and we learn being from kids and grandkids as well. I think, yeah, yeah, it's
yeah. Yeah, it's tough.
beautiful.
And then also with that mom aspect and
Yeah.
the confidence piece and the self love, making you the priority.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not selfish to make you a priority
It's
because
not.
we have to have that time, that me time. Because if you don't take the time for you, you can't be your authentic self. You can't pour into others.
Absolutely.
Making sure you're the priority is also one of the things that I found as a theme that we struggle with doing that for ourselves or feel guilty for doing it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. But how has this been for you, building a business as a woman and really just paving, even though there isn't that experience of leadership and everything, but still
Hmm.
in our own businesses, we're kind of leading our own way, right? And the
Yes.
business sets itself. And how has that experience been for you, being a woman in business?
I would say for me, the experience has been so powering and just powerful because, like I said, knowing that you had this voice to use and a gift that you wanted to give to the world, but you
Hmm.
didn't. And then
Yeah.
finally, when you were able to get out of your own way, Michelle, and get out here and do it, and then to be able to see that I am making an impact with people. I am inspiring you. I am getting you to tap into that mindset and transform your mindset and your thinking to think differently, think positively, so that there could be a change in your life. So for me, it's really been powerful, but also it's been one of those things that has reminded me
Hmm.
whatever you say you can do, you can, Michelle. You are stronger than you think. I think that there are times where we just continue to say what we can't do instead of just stepping out there and doing it. Um,
Right.
I'm great at giving other people advice and encouraging them and inspiring them, but sometimes, listening
Some,
to my own
that's
advice,
right.
it's like,
That's right.
I don't do that so well. So it's just been empowering to know that those dreams and things that I've always thought that I could do, I'm doing them. and doing them with an impact. And also how people have received me.
Yeah.
Um, there's that side of me that's had to be vulnerable in sharing my story because a
Mhm.
lot of people don't know that about me. Some of the people that I know personally know, the challenges that I've experienced and the resilience it's taken me to rebuild myself, my confidence,
Yeah.
um, to make it with raising the kids. But then there
Mhm.
are others where they're blown away, like, you went through what? So that kind of fear of, oh wow, well, what will they think if they know this about me? And then at the end of the day, it's like, who cares what they think? It's not about other people. You're here to help someone. Stop worrying about what someone will think and do what you know you're supposed to be doing.
And I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Well, thank
Nobody
you.
has to go through that. But also, there is that spirit that developed in you because of that, and now you giving that to
Yes.
your clients that you're working with, and that the strength, that stamina that is, I can imagine, right, that is developed. But yeah, it's yeah, I'm sorry that
I
you
think
had to
the
go through that.
scars, yeah, the scars that I have from that, but I'm so thankful for that opportunity. And yes,
Mhm.
like you said, no, no one should have to go through that.
No.
Uh, However, having gone through it, I'm thankful
Hmm.
because had I not gone through that, I probably wouldn't be the woman I am today.
Yeah.
Yeah, the strength and resilience that it taught me, the confidence that it gave me, the self love, and really knowing and understanding what love is. Love doesn't hurt. Love is not controlling. You should be able to use your voice, all of those things that came from that. But I
Hmm.
turned those things around into something good. So, while yes, it was a bad thing, but I say it's one of the best things that ever happened to my life.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. I want to bring it back to your business. And in building a business, there are so many lessons and the moments that we go through. And I love looking at business building as this depth of personal growth experience, because it's really, heard someone say, if you want to grow, open a business, right?
Yes.
Right, because we
Mhm.
face our own, shadows,
Yeah.
and I can imagine there are so many lessons. But what maybe one of the lessons that you would want to share with our listeners today?
A big lesson for myself because of the fact that I still am in corporate America and working a full time job. I'm a director of continuous improvement at a nutraceutical company. So I have a job that keeps me very busy and very demanding.
Yeah.
Um, and being passionate about my business and knowing that this is what I want to do and my plan to take me where I really want to go with my future. The biggest lesson that I learned is I can do anything, just not everything. Being a woman who's a strong woman, a perfectionist, and someone who's really focused on driving results and my performance, it's like that same thought process that I take into my day job. It's like, oh, you have to have that same rigor and work the same way with your business, which you do have to have that focus. But it's like, Michelle, you can't do all of this. And so just knowing that time management, having your
Yeah.
schedule, a strategy in place are critical because without those things, it's so easy to get to a burnout point or to a point where you're doubting that you can do this just because of you feel so drained and just that time management.
Mhm.
So I think for me, that's been one of the biggest lessons in this is learning that I'm in control of everything. I can do anything, just not everything. And what are the true priorities? Okay, that's what I make sure I focus on. And then the other things, I get to them when I can.
I love that. And you're such a great example of, working, still working, having full-time job, and then attending to your business as well. It's such a great example of being able to do, and I love what you said, because it's exactly that. We cannot do it all, and adding your mother responsibility to that, right? And everything else that we, in addition. So I love that reminder, because it's so important to understand that, so that we don't overcommit, right? And time management, just like you said, beautiful. Yeah, and such a great example. So thank you for sharing that.
Mhm.
Um, um, with your business and having, yeah, so that's a key. So thank you, that's wonderful. Now with your voice and speaking, and you doing speaking gigs, and speaking at events, including our upcoming Houston event you'll be speaking at. I'm excited to meet you very soon. How are you using your voice, and what is coming up for you, if you wanted to share with us?
Yes, absolutely. So, just like this evening that we're doing this
Yeah.
podcast, I'm using my voice on other podcasts as well. Letting people know about meaningful moments of power and what I do. I'm going to be speaking at your conference next month, and then also some other entrepreneur conferences I'm speaking at, but then also some other just conferences dedicated to women and women's empowerment I'll be speaking at,
Hmm.
um, along with continuing to work with my clients that I'm coaching. Really excited about those upcoming things. And then also just continuing to, build my brand and have my face and the voice in the place as much as I can, just uplifting people. And then I also every day I have a nice following on Facebook, a pretty nice big following on Facebook, where every morning I start the day with an inspirational and motivational video,
Mm.
um, and it's something that's really taken off. And I have people where I was sick a couple weeks ago, and I had like 5 people that messaged me and were like, "Where's the video?" And I'm like, "Okay, you know what? Even with the sick face, I
Oh,
came on and gave it
beautiful.
some." But yes,
Oh.
so just trying to make sure as much as possible that I'm engaged in all these speaking engagements
Mm.
because I love using my voice and I love connecting with people, which is something that I do naturally, which I think that that's also helped me in the coaching space, because dealing with abuse and sometimes the challenges from divorce, if I'm
Mhm.
having, if I'm speaking somewhere and I'm giving a speech and it's motivational, okay, hey, yay, you may be pumped up and everything, but depending on, I share my story, but someone is not just going to raise their hand and say, oh, hey, I'm in an abusive relationship. So
Yeah.
education is so key. That's why,
Mhm.
in
Yeah.
speaking, that vulnerability has to be there, sharing the story, but then how you overcame it so that someone will feel compelled to reach out or then say, you know what, I'm
Yeah.
dealing with that or I've dealt with the same things.
Mhm. Well, thank you for sharing your voice, and inspiring others to be able to share their voices if they are in a similar situation, and educating them. Yeah, I agree. Education is so key, because it's, yeah, and yeah, we don't know. And so you leading your Facebook group, and by the way, we will be sharing links to Facebook group and links for Michelle, so connect with her. If this is resonating, so we will be posted to our YouTube a video, as well as our podcast recording as well. So yes, so thank you for sharing your voice, and I definitely am looking forward to meeting you in person in Houston next month.
Can't wait.
Yes, it's going to be great. Is there anything you wanted to share with our listeners?
No, I'm ready. Fire away.
Awesome. I'm going to move us to the rapid fire questions. And my first question is about the book that you've read, maybe left this impact on you, book you're reading right now. Some ladies share their own books, but anything that you want to share with us, the name of the book that really,
Yes.
yes.
Well, actually, right now I am reading a book that was written by one of my power partners, Anita Newsom, and it's called The Mindset of Faith.
Mm,
And I am a woman
beautiful.
of great faith, going through the challenges that I went through. My faith in God is what carried me through. And then, like I said, the other women that poured into me. So
Hmm.
right now I'm reading that book, and it's really just been great giving me those practical teachings that you can apply to our everyday life. Because even if you're not a spiritual person, we
Yeah,
all need to have something that you gravitate to that is your source of power
I
outside of the
agree.
power you have inside of you. So that has just been really inspirational for me right now.
Yeah. And what was the name and the author again?
Anita Newsom.
Nita Newsom. Okay.
Yes.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Favorite international destination to visit?
I would say only because I've just gone and can't wait to go back. Paris.
Oh, I love Paris.
And it
Yes.
was my first
Me
time,
too.
so it's like, no, I can't wait to go back. Yes.
Yes. Me too.
Yes.
Me
Yes.
too.
I've done a lot of international traveling, but I mean, just the
Yeah.
architecture, the food, the the clothes, the design, just everything.
Right?
You can't go any place
Okay.
better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Summer or winter?
Summer, I'm torn though because
Me
at
too.
this stage of life that I'm in, the summer heat doesn't work as well with me. But
Yeah.
I love the things I can do in the summer, but I also love winter too. So I'd say summer. Yeah.
Awesome. And the final question is things that you have discovered about yourself recently.
I have discovered that while I may talk confidence to people and inspire and motivate everyone to be their most confident and authentic self, there are times that I have doubted my own confidence along
Mm.
this entrepreneurial journey. So that's something that I've learned about myself. But what has happened? Shutting it down right away. Um, I've also learned that how I perceive myself is not how others perceive me. And not saying that I perceive myself in a bad way,
Mhm.
but the way that others perceive me based off of their comments and things that they say to me, sometimes it's like, wow, you know, you feel that way. So that's been something that I've learned about myself. And I've learned that I am stronger than I think because here lately, I've also been engaged in really on my fitness. So I've been working with a personal trainer and things that I said, oh, you can't do this or I'd never do this. I never imagined myself strength training. So that is something that I've learned about myself that I am much stronger than I think and I
I
can do more than I
love
think.
it.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes. It's like, hello, muscles.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love, 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 love that. And then thank you for playing. And thank you for being transparent about, because how many times we're giving it to others, but then because we are all we're going through it through that ourselves. And so thank you for being transparent about that because I think it's just such an important part because
Mhm.
that's the way it works. Um,
Yes,
yeah, so thank you. And thank you for playing. It's always so much fun
that
to
was
do
fun.
this.
Yes.
Paris, definitely. We need to go together.
Yeah. Like I can take the croissant right now.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yes.
yes. Michelle, well, in closing, was there anything else that you wanted to share with our listeners today? And thank you again for being in our podcast. Looking forward to meeting you in Houston and in a couple of weeks. And then we will post links on how to connect with Michelle, learn more about her work at the Facebook group, and daily motivation sounds amazing. But yeah, thank
Well, the
you.
one thing I would just like to say, one, thank you again
Yeah.
for the opportunity. And, just to your listeners, as I've said, as we've been having this podcast, it's all about confidence and self love. And whoever is listening, you are amazing. You are beautiful, you are worthy, and you have so many gifts that you bring to the table. And one thing that I always do with my videos every day when I end them is I remind people and I tell them the world needs you, and they really do. So thank you again for the opportunity. Can't wait to meet you next month in Houston, and I'm looking so forward to being a part of your Trailblazer event. And this has just been great.
Yes, same here. Thank you so much, Michelle. I'll see you soon.
Alrighty, thanks, Elle.
Mhm.